You're watching News 8 on WROC.
CPA Garrett Wagner is back with us. Garrett, thanks for a few minutes. Good to see you.
Mark, always a pleasure.
Child tax credit is what we're talking about. Advanced child tax credit. A lot of folks getting payments over the second half of last year and how it'll impact people's tax return. What do we need to know here?
So back in March 2021, almost a year ago, the American Rescue Plan Act was passed. And what it did is it increased the child tax credit from $2,000 per child to $3,000 per child. But as you said, instead of getting that refund with your return, the idea was, hey, let's get it to people sooner. Get that money in people's hands sooner. So for a lot of people in July or August, they started getting small deposits in their bank account, which was nice. But the rub, what people didn't think through is, I got the money early, I'm going to get a smaller refund now, which is going to be a big surprise to many.
What type of an impact would it have on the refund? Is it a dollar for dollar change?
Yeah, so let's take an example of our friends John and Jane Smith with their 2 kids. They typically get a $3,000 refund on their tax return. But starting back in August, they got $600 a month just deposited right into their bank account. So they've already got $3,000 of their $3,000 refund. So their refund this year is going to be $0, which for them and a lot of people is going to be a huge surprise.
All right, with that said, Garrett, as we get ready to do our return, what do we need to tell our preparer? What information do they need?
Yeah, and this is already ready to be one of the big problems in this year's return. The IRS in December of this 2021 started sending out letters, and you could log into your own IRS portal to see how much you got. But just last week, sadly enough, the IRS came out and said, oh, hold on, those amounts might be wrong. You're best just to look at your bank statements to try and see what came to your account. So a lot of pressure on you as a taxpayer. Look at your bank statements, look for those random IRS deposits, and tell your tax preparer exactly what you got.
That's a really important update. Let's finish with this. Having said that, what happens if you don't get it right? You get it wrong on your return. What then?
What the IRS has said is your return will be delayed. If you file a return and say they paid you $2,000 and they paid you more or less, they're not going to process your return right away. They'll process all the other ones that got it right. And then eventually, maybe August, September, October, November of 2022, they'll look at it, try and figure out why you were off, send you a letter. So if you get it wrong, you could be waiting 6, 12, 18 months to get that refund that you might desperately need.
All the more reason to work with a professional and take the time to make sure you do get those numbers right ahead of time. Garrett, as always, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll have this online as well at rochesterfirst.com.